Hi, everyone. My name is Chris McDonald. I'm the Vice President of Solutions here at Bria AI. Today, I want to walk you through some of the powerful capabilities that are part of Bria's platform. In this example, I'm going to show you how an e-commerce company selling women's fashion, including bags, can leverage visual generative AI to better personalize their advertising and their content. So in this example, I'm going to take the role of a consumer for now. I'm on Google. I am searching for my next vacation to go on. I'm interested in going on a vacation in the Greek islands, and I want a hotel with a great view of the Aegean Sea. And with that, I hit search. As Elegantra, the results through my Google ad show up here. So if I'm the consumer, I'm seeing some different options for this vacation that I want to plan, but I'm also seeing this advertisement of a bag that Elegantra sells right in the context of where I'm going, this Greek island vacation Aegean Sea. So here now as a consumer, I'm seeing something, not just a bag in a random place, but I'm seeing a bag in the context of what I'm searching for. So now I'm saying to myself, not just this, but hey, it'd be great to have this new bag as I go on my vacation. So what is happening underneath the hood? This is leveraging Bria's Product Shot API. And here, for those who are builders, it's just showing the API script right here and showing how it's pulling up the results over here. Underneath the hood, I'm going to walk you through how this capability can work across different types of products and different ways to use this capability. And I'm also going to show you different ways of building with Bria by showing you an example of how to build a workflow in a very popular tool, ComfyUI. Here I am in Bria's console. This is a place where our customers go for lots of information like API documentation or information about the models if you're using our source code available models, to develop. But here I'm in a demo environment just to give you a sense of what it looks like, to use our capabilities in a pretty simple, intuitive environment. Here, what I've done is I loaded up an image of a soda can. You can see that it's on this green background. And I have a number of options from image editing perspective. Each of these, of course, are APIs that are available. I can obviously size and crop the different image. I can customize the size, the width, the height. I can choose the media destination depending on where this image is going, if it's going to be an ad that's going to go onto Facebook, LinkedIn, and I can also increase the resolution. But here I'm most interested in being able to generate a background for these soda cans. So I'm going to do generate background via text. Here, I'm going to put in a prompt, studio shot, perfect setting for product placement on a rock with moss surrounded by tropical vegetation, ferns and flowers with visible moisture in the air, water drops over a blurry jungle background, drama, high contrast image, cooling photo filter. I'm going to allow 4 generations, so I have different options. A big part of switching from static creation to generative AI creation is this notion of having options and curating. So here I'm going to hit generate. It will then use this API to not just remove the background as part of the workflow or pipeline underneath the hood. It will then generate a new background based upon the text that I am feeding it. Here you can see the results have loaded. And going from this image to backgrounds created, you can see that it really understood my prompt. And importantly, it was able to understand the product in placing it and generating the background. It is Bria's belief, as part of not only just a responsible AI company, but one that is really built for commercial use. We understand that the product itself is very important. We don't want to introduce synthetic generations on top of original imagery. Instead, we place the original image of the product into a generated background or synthetic background, and we try to do so as naturally as possible. So you can see it's placed on this rock. You can see shadows and lighting that look very natural. And I have different options that I can choose from. Here, I'm seeing more shadows, right? I'm seeing the reflection in what looks like a bit of water below. Here I can see a different type of rock, still getting those shadows. And here I'm seeing an even cleaner, smoother black rock with shadows. So now I have some options with this background, which is great. What if I want to do more at scale? And this is really what our customers are looking to do. And that is they are obviously have more than one single product. They're doing this oftentimes against hundreds, if not thousands of products, whether it's changing the backgrounds for a holiday scene or changing it based on a given segmentation or personalization for a customer. So here I'm loading up multiple products, in this case, 8 handbags that a given company might be selling. And using the same example that we started the demo with, personalizing for a background or someone searching for a Greek vacation, I'm going to this time do the background generation against all the products. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go background and generate by text. And in this case, I am going to be more direct. It's not just a Google search, but I'm actually prompting specifically for the background that I want. Here it is, a white wooden table overlooking the Aegean Sea. In the background, there's quaint Greek houses, blurry background. So let's go ahead and for the sake of, showing this, I'm only going to do 2 examples of each and generate 16 results as options. So here you can see the results are starting to load. Again, I chose 2 variations for each individual bag. So there were 8 bags. So I'm going to get 16 total results. And you can see that it's aligning to the prompt very well. I see 2 options for each bag, again, placed on a table overlooking these houses. I see sea in the background. It's really exactly the kind of imagery that I'm looking for. And here I have 2 good options, right? Here I might want to choose this one that's better for this bag or this one that's better for the other bag. And same goes for all these other bags. But here what you're seeing is what happens when you start to apply generative AI in a scalable automated pipeline where you can connect to a dam, you can pull the given products that you're looking for, you can generate backgrounds for all of your products and product pack shots by using generate background by text. Or what I'm going to show you next is generating a background using a reference image or a style reference. And that is another option within here that you see generate by image. But this time, we are a platform for builders at our heart. And we have the flexibility of using a number of different tools to be able to create our workflows and pipelines. So I'm actually going to show you how to use a reference image against these bags by showing you in ComfyUI. So I'm now in ComfyUI, and I pre-built this workflow to show you the capability of using a reference image as a style reference to create a background, again, for this black bag. So here, there's no prompt involved. As you can see, for those of you who are familiar with ComfyUI, I've done the load image. I've loaded up 2 images. One is attached to our API, which is then available as a node inside of ComfyUI, one of many Bria capabilities that is natively available inside of the ComfyUI library. Here I'm using Bria's shot by image. I'm loading the image, the product pack shot, and then the reference image here. And of course, I'm using my ComfyUI API key. And here I'm going to load the output image, and I'm going to hit Q to let that workflow start. And it actually just adjusted there. You can see the output here. It is using this image as a reference and now creating a background from that reference, right? Something very creative, inspired, but just another way to leverage the power of generative AI to get rich, creative results. While we're here, I'm going to go ahead and build a workflow just like I did, this time with a yellow bag. Here, I have the 2 load images loaded up. And what I'm going to do is click on the nodes so you can see when you type in Bria, you can see a number of our capabilities natively showing up here, right? So a number of our APIs right out of the box available here. Of course, it is ComfyUI. So if you're someone who's using our source code available models, just like you would with any other model, you can load that up and use ComfyAI to establish those workflows. Here again, I'm going to use the shot by image API. I'm going to put in my API token. So I put in my API key there. I'm going to take this image like we did before, load that image here, and this image is going to become our reference image. And then I want to be able to see this image in this workflow. So I'm just going to do a quick preview image and load the output image right there. So again, I'm going to execute this workflow. You can see it running. It's now loading up this bag. It's using the reference image as part of this pipeline, right? It's automatically removing that background. It's taking the original product and it's creating a background image around the original product using this reference image as style inspiration. And here you can see, again, it's taken that bag, it's placed it in a background based on this style reference. I just covered and walked through Bria's background creation or product placement capabilities. I started by showing you how it can be used to build personalized ads based on Google searches. I then went into our console and showed you how to use some of our capabilities in our image editing demo application. I then showed you how to do so at scale, loading multiple product images up and applying these capabilities at scale, similar to what you'd be doing as you create a pipeline attached to your dam to be able to generate many, many images that you can then curate from. And then I showed you the power of building with Bria, how there are many options and flexibility as part of our Bria Everywhere strategy, including our capabilities being available in ComfyUI as a ComfyUI node to easily create those workflows. Thanks for your time.